Opportunity, take road to do a nice acceleration test.
Nice.
Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog. We're here at Thruxton race circuit, and obviously we're about to go out in the A90 Supra. Again, if you haven't seen the video from before, ping up there, have a watch of that. But yeah, we're going to be going around loads of different B roads and rural roads, just having a check out of, you know, what we think of this car really. So yeah, been wanting to kind of drive it for quite some time, and yeah, look at it in the background. That looks good, doesn't it? That does look pretty good, doesn't it? I like it in that black. I haven't seen it obviously in the black. The last time I saw this car was when I was at a kind of secret location filming it for, and it had all the kind of camo A90 decals on it, and obviously Toyota UK have obviously treated me well and kind of invited me to come and look at this. Obviously, as most people will know, or some people will know, I did put an order down on the on one. I haven't physically placed my allocation. I've got an allocation, but I haven't placed my order as such, so I'm still unsure as to whether I am definitely going to go for it or not. Today's going to be a testing day, out on track and out on the roads as well, so yeah, watch on and we'll see what we can get for you.
So yeah, I'm out in the new GR Supra. I've got an instructor in front, so I can't push on too fast, but I finally get to drive in the car that I have provisionally ordered or put a reservation down on. So yeah, I'm in a default mode at the moment, and yeah, we're around some really lumpy and bumpy kind of surfaces, but the standard dampeners are really soaking up the road really quite well, so that's great straight away. On the default mode, the steering kind of feedback is very light, which I don't like, but then I'd change that straight away, because you can kind of go into sports mode, which instantly gives you that feedback, or you can go into individual driver profiles.
Okay, check a second. Opportunity, take road to do a nice acceleration test.
Nice. So yeah, just giving it a little bit of a blip. Obviously we're not in sports mode, we're still in a default mode, but I'm going to go straight to sports mode because that's how I like to drive my cars. Straight away, once you put it into sport, the steering is still quite light, but it's definitely got a lot more feedback now, and it's a lot more weighted, so a lot more heavy, which I like. You got a lot more communication through the steering wheel. And if you haven't seen my track review of this car, then make sure you click on the link above, or link in the bio, and you'll see what I thought of the car out on track. Spoiler alert, it was friggin' amazing. So we're around these kind of country, lumpy bumpy country roads, proper you know, British B roads, so it's really good to see, you know, what this car actually feels like on real UK rural roads. Got a nice sweep here. Feels great, and the brakes have got an instant response. One of the cool things I want to tell you about the brakes is apparently it's got this technology where if it senses that there's rain and there's a sweep of the windscreen wiper, what it will do is the brake will just basically gently kiss the brake disc with the pad to get rid of any water on the brake disc, so it clears that, so you've got an instant brake pedal. So it's really quite good. But one of the main things I want to talk to you about is explain this from how it feels, you know, in the car, through the steering and everything, and through the balance of the whole chassis. Obviously we've felt it dynamically on track, and it's really quite incredible. They've got the golden ratio for the wheelbase and the car's track. What that means is, it means that it has a fantastic chassis balance. It makes the car feel neutral when you want to, but very communicative through the steering wheel, through your butt, and through makes you feel at one with the car. That makes you feel really connected. So yeah, the golden ratio coupled with the 50-50 perfect 50-50 weight distribution means a very balanced car, and I can categorically tell you that that is 100% the case. That coupled with a lower chassis than the GT86 by 7mm and a stiffer chassis than the Lexus LFA, it marries up to kind of give you an idea of how good this car really can be. or really is. Trying the brake, feeling how it feels. It's definitely got a very strong, good brake, a Brembo caliper and brake system with a 4-pot caliper, and it's a very, very good system. Just do a little bit of acceleration. Yeah, it is definitely bloody quick, that's for sure. Car be like to live with? Well, actually, I've just put a massive bag in the back of this. It's actually got quite a big boot. Obviously, one of the things that is a little bit of a shame is obviously it is only a 2-seater, so you're not going to get your friends in there. You're going to get your missus or a mate, and that's it. But to be fair, it's a sports car, so do we really care? No, it doesn't matter that much. So I'm just going to do it, slow it down to about 20 mile an hour and just do a real punch roll.
The T-junction?
Jesus, yeah, it is a quick car. Yeah, it plants you in the back of the seat, and yeah, these are really quite comfortable as well, just so you know. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Okay, so obviously there's the obvious thing. It has a BMW interior, or a lot of the switchgear is BMW. Yes, it is, but do we mind? Well, have you seen some of certain Toyotas of new and their interiors? No offence, they're not that great. So this is a step up, and like I say, with the heads-up display and the really nice kind of leather cockpit you've got here, for me it's a lovely place to be. Figure hugging seats, and you can kind of adjust the bolster of them as well. I noticed actually in the passenger side you can't do as much, so when you're going around track or you're really hacking it around and going for it, it's a little bit looser from the passenger side, but when you put the bolster up really tight on this driver's side, it does keep you in position nice and tight where you want to be. So yeah, it's really nice. And the leather, the interior quality in here is really good, especially for something that's anywhere near 50,000–60,000 pounds. This is right up there with, you know, most of the best. Really, there's not much out there that would probably surpass this. So you've actually got a really high quality interior, nice digital display on the speed dial, and the I've got the sports display up at the moment, which is showing me the power output and the torque in Newton meters, which is really quite cool. So I can tell how much of that power, how much of that 340 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque that I'm using. And I'm gonna, I shouldn't go too fast because I'll get in trouble going over the speed limit, but it really does pick up and go really quite quickly. I'm gonna blip it down again. I'm gonna just go a little bit slower. Watch that power and torque level go up. As a load of other Supras go by on this day, I think maybe one of the gripes I have, and it's not much of a gripe, I'd probably, even though it sounds really nice and you get a lot of kind of sound from the engine bay and the engine compartment, you don't get so much out of the back, and I wish they made it a little bit louder. I like loud cars popping and banging, sorry. Some people won't, to be fair, and they'll be like, well, that's good, I like to hear that. But for me, I'd like it a little bit louder out the exhaust. It's still a little muted, but overall it sounds great. And I must admit, if I had it, I would probably want to eventually modify it, and I think when you modify something like that, it'll be absolutely superb, because of the many reasons I've listed. The golden ratio between wheelbase and track width, the 1:55 golden ratio, and that basically, it's a figure that in balance terms is basically what car designers and manufacturers are trying to achieve, a perfect ratio. The perfect ratio is somewhere around 1.5 and 1.6. So Toyota went and achieved a figure of 1.55. To do that, they had to move things about, and that's why when you go on one of these days or you speak to engineers and design engineers, you realise how much has gone into this Supra. They've moved the battery from the front to the back, and also moved the motor back as well quite some distance to get basically that 50-50 weight distribution. So they've done a really good job, and that coupled up with the torsional stiffness, I mean, it means that realistically as a platform, this car is going to be so capable out of the factory. But you imagine if you mildly tuned this car, it would be fantastic, because it's just going to take that. It's going to take whatever you chuck at this chassis, and we've already proven that around track. It's just so capable. The active differential and how that works is just unbelievable. Just showing off to some people in the just walking on the side of the road, because we did get some good looks actually from them. So people were saying, obviously, and for me, looks are subjective. Some people are not going to like the look of this car. I think a lot of people are kidding themselves on the look of the car. I think it looks damn good. If you saw this car going around track or on road, you would turn your head, or a lot of people would turn your head. Yes, looks are subjective, and I know that a lot of people are not necessarily going to like it. I think it's a good looking car, and it has something about it that just looks so special, and in a really good way, and it's just fantastic. And to be honest with you, the whole car feels special. We're going to have to drag out that old comparison, and everyone says it, because this car needs to basically perform and be somewhere there or thereabouts of the Alpine A110, the Cayman 718 Porsche, and also the BMW M2 competition. Now, I've driven all of those cars except for the Alpine, and honestly, this reminds me more of the Cayman than it does of the M2 competition. The M2 competition feels a little bit more savage than this car, and a little bit more tail happy. Some people may like that, but if you want a more safer, sure-footed car that you can really push hard, this car is better. It really is. If you want a wilder car, the M2 competition is the one. The Cayman and the 718 is much more like this car. It's much more, it feels more sure-footed and safe. But rest assured, if you want to go sideways and you turn that traction control off, it will go sideways. And unfortunately, I can't do that for you. I really want to, but obviously within the confines of what we can do. But rest assured, it does do that. Trust me, it does it. But yeah, the chassis dynamics and the feel of this whole car in general is just absolutely out of this world. There's something about it that is just so special, and it is an incredible car, and it's one of those platforms that is in the realms of the best cars you can think of, that you can buy, that money can buy, full stop. It is just absolutely fantastic. And if you're in the market for one of these and you can get one, or get yourself on the waiting list, honestly do. And if you get the opportunity to drive one somehow, and it will be quite hard, then make sure you go do that as well. If you're lucky enough to get yourself on the waiting list for one of these, or able to drive one somehow, then you'll know you don't even need to just listen to me. This car is something pretty damn special, and has it lived up to my expectations? Yeah, absolutely. It really has. It isn't a Mark IV Supra, guys, and you need to keep telling yourself that it isn't. And I don't understand. People say about Supra fanboys being upset. I'm a Supra fanboy, and I'm not upset, because I'm not being funny. The Mark III didn't look like the Mark IV, and the Mark IV is never going to look like the Mark V, but they have made this look very similar colour, has some small little styling cues of, you know, Supras of old, and even it also looks a bit like the FT1. And we're going over bumps, and actually it really irons out the bumps really quite well. So it's actually incredibly comfortable considering how sporty it is. I don't know how they've managed to make it so kind of user friendly and actually quite comfortable, really, to be honest with you. They've done a really good job. But I love some of the little carbon fibre touches. As I say, it's very little. It's got a lovely sound system in here as well. And for me, that means that it ticks so many of the boxes you'd want in a sports car. But yeah, what a car, what a machine. I've been lucky enough to have this out on track, on circuit, and out on the roads now, and yeah, I just want more time with it. So yeah, when finally I decide whether I actually should buy one, what do you guys think? Should I buy one? My reservation is down, I have my number, but the question is, should I buy one, guys? So what do you reckon to the silver? This is the one we've been out in. Yay, nay? And as I said, look, there you go, big boot. Subwoofers as well inside, you can see through there. So yeah, we've been out in the Silver Supras. We're all finished and done for the day. It's been awesome, so I hope you've enjoyed my videos. But yeah, what do you think? What colour? Or first of all, shall I buy one? I've got my reservation down for one. Shall I go through and just do it? If so, what colour? Comments in the comment section. I am and have been absolutely blown away by that car. There is something really special about that car, and it is absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's just next level. It's up there with the big boys. Something about the feel of it for me that makes it feel a little bit more special. It's a bit different, and it is up there with the best, and surpasses some of them as well. It is pretty much the best money can buy, and it is damn special. So definitely, if you get a chance to kind of go out in one or drive one, or get a deposit down on one if you like them, do it, because it is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, what colour would you go for? And shouldn't I? Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. See you again in the next one. Bye for now.